Hey, I'm Kev. Welcome back to MotoGP 19. Has Kev Stone had a bit of a meltdown last time out, but into the second half of the season, he does have the pace to challenge right at the top with the big three. So let's see if he can do that around the Red Bull Ring in Austria as you head to Spielberg. So we go then for a lap of the Spielberg circuit in free practice 3. As you climb up the hill towards this first corner. Heavy braking zone should be a good overtaking spot as well. Got to be careful on the exit. That curve really does come up towards you quicker than you think. And rising up uphill into a left-hand kink. It actually is a corner for a bike, this. Especially a MotoGP bike before another heavy braking zone. And one of the tightest corners of the circuit. You thought Assen had a tight corner. Well, Austria has a tight corner as well, right at the top of the hill. But now we head downhill once again. Another long straight. But a very tricky downhill braking zone. It means it's actually good for overtaking as well. As you get pushed wide. That's good. And then we've got some sweeping corners that go past the Red Bull on the inside of these corners. As first through the left, got the sun kind of hiding behind the trees and then appearing again. And then a second left, which is actually surprisingly a passing spot. We've found out in recent years. Then hard on the power flat through the right. And now the downhill. Fast right-handers at the end of that. Again, another passing spot if you're brave enough. As in no way was that an irregular line. That's a bit of a regular line in the final corner. But such a tricky downhill braking zone once again on the MotoGP bikes. That could be hell as it's a 45-2. Let's do that. That counts, shall we? Or not. I guess it's invalid that because it carries over. Be disappointingly, but as you can see, we return to the proper kind of first person view. No, really engine braking it. And hard on the power. Don't let that back end rip round as you look at ourselves on the screen to the left hand side. Look at the houses as well around it. Oh, there's another screen showing us off. And another screen on the right-hand side. Oh, we can really stare at ourselves. And there is the Red Bull to the left-hand side. Great addition. As much as we criticise Red Bull at times, especially how they run their F1 team on occasion, with all the young drivers. Definitely bringing back Spielberg as an international, global motorsport hub has been fantastic to see after years of fighting to do it as well. And it's not just F1 that's back here, it's DTM, it is F3, it's MotoGP as well. And the Red Bull Rookie Cup has 43.3, comfortably ahead of anyone else. As once again, riders not going out when we're not going out. I don't know how they've managed to carry over this bug, but it's worse than it was when they ended MotoGP 18, it feels like. Anyway, let's go on to the real thing in qualifying. So we go then for a qualifying lap. Maybe our only one, if we can keep it within the right lines. And he really slowed it down. That's very slow in, very fast out, that one. So we should have a good run up the hill towards this hairpin. Should be good battles heading into that hairpin as well. As now we go downhill. Once again, using lots of rear brake. Get the bike stopped. Pass the ball. Trying to catch up to the rider in front. That's our goal. That's our carrot in front. It's a bit wide through the left. Such a tricky corner to get right. Very easy to do that, to go wide. Same for the far and left as well. Maybe too high getting third there. That's a just pinching sip. All over the curb on the inside. And hard on the power on the exit at the final corner. Oh, this is going to be close to a 140. Got a nice little toe here as well. 41.7. Don't need another lap. Well, I have nothing to say. Let's look at the field spread for everyone else. 1.5 seconds. They're not racing in my race. You haven't made 107%. You're out, okay? Maybe the top 3 made it through, but absolutely ridiculous. We might have to stop qualifying because it is broken beyond belief. So we are revving up at the starting. First gear engaged. Clutch it. Released. Changing up the second way too early again. For this 9-lap race. Another poor start from Stone. He's trying it down the inside of Ryder. Tries to get through the pack up into third. As he rides towards the clouds and the trees in front. Up into sixth. Taking down the inside of Salvador. Oh, Salvador says no. Stone says yes. And the side-by-side exiting onto his back straight, but it seems like Tatai down the 5th. Seems like Stone has got the run. His title arrive with a championship leader, remember, Salvador. The guy he's battling with in Germany. He's going to be battling with here, isn't it? It's like wide on the opening of that from Stone. So Salvador back by. Got Tato behind in 4th. Got Rouge into the points. Cook battling for a top 10 with the Swiss rider. Top 5 in the championship, but batting for a top 10 in the race. It's called Jason. There's a bit all over the place from Salvador in front. Was that Stone's giving him a bit of a giddy up there? I'll get on your bike, son. Stone down the inside of Salvador, makes the move. Through the final corner, you've got Scott and Ertas battling for 23rd, but right at the front. Heading on to the second lap. We've got the Japanese rider leading the right ahead of Stone. Salvador, I don't know why it's Dav. With a weird 3 letters. And then Tatai in 4th. Just notice you can see the ball on the right there, coming out of the first corner too. If the horn's pointed at you, you know you're in trouble then. We'll see if Stone closes 7/10 of a second gap. Let's go down the back straight. Great start from the Japanese rider after the setback of the Saxon ring. Seems to be doing a good job here. Stone down! Maybe a bit of a hangover from Germany. Down on the second lap here. In a comfortable position in the race. And again, just downhill. Not getting the braking right, but this time leading to his downfall. Literally. But he's down the inside of the Swiss rider. Mini back up into 8th. Hello, what are you doing in front? The French rider getting it all wrong again. Stone down the inside of Bautis. They go side by side in the penultimate corner. It seems like Stone has made a move into the final corner, up into 6th. Got a superb run here, going into 5th. Another Japanese rider. And down the inside into the first corner, gone a bit wide as Stone rejoins in 4th. One of the stewards have a look at that. This goes up the hill on this 3rd lap. You've got 1.7 seconds to make up. Would have been helpful to get it down to 1st rather than 2nd. Only problem with this, trying to figure out which gear we're in sometimes. Once again, bike drifting wide. Like the camber takes it away from the corner, but really is taking it away. The left-handers fell on baton with Bautas. Baton over 7th. Here comes Stone chasing after the top 3. Bit wide on the left. Better run through the right though. Use that curb on settle the bike. 1.1 back. There's all you can see the front trying to get away there on the braking. Then hard on the power. Not quite matching his qualifying pace, but he's not too far off. 43.1. Fastest out the race. Much quicker than Salvador. So once again all over the curb at that first corner. Bike not liking it at all. Because these bikes have quite a stiff suspension made for the tarmac, not made for the curves, which are a bit higher. But unsettling. So you go all the way down to 1st. That's more like it. And less than a second back now, 3rd. As they really are gathering in front for a battle for the second half of this race. Of course, Stone wants to join in as well. Once again, a bit slow get on the power as Acosta gets up in the 25th. No. Sacco says no. There's 5 seconds ahead of the rest already, these top 4. And I can now safely say it is a group of 4. Stone has joined the race once again. Oh, a bit too much curb. We get a good run off the right. You make a move for 3rd, in it down the inside of Tatai. Gives a little look. Once again, leaning too much on the front on the brakes there. Gets to run out of the final corner. As he sets a 42.4, and look at this drive. As he into the second half of the race, Stone takes the lead. They're going to get the drive off the first corner though. Here's the train. The freighter behind him. He's going to defend the inside then. You can see level with the Japanese rider. Once again taking the corner in 2nd instead of 1st. So at the halfway mark, it's as we were on the opening lap. Nothing happened in between then. So once again, Stone a bit wide. The bike, pretty damn good in the straights, but going into that corner, bit of choose. Stone a bit aggressive on the Japanese rider as well, really taking away the corner from him as Rogue making way up the order up to 13th. There's Stone in the lead. Now can he get away and deliver his 2nd victory in the Red Bull Rookies Cup? Something he should have done last time. This is one way to erase the pain of Germany. The best way as well. Get right back up onto the top step of that podium. He's gone to the sit flap. Still got a top 4 hit. So not exactly pulling away yet. As it clobbers the inside curb there. Don't want to be doing that too much. But he hears no one around him. As he go uphill, into the grass as well. That's one way to slow you down. As with 2.5 laps to go, or 3.5 laps to go, should I say. Looking very good for Stone. It's all getting on the power there. Here to I want this away. 1.7 seconds ahead. So apart from Magello, strangely, Stone has just had pace on everyone. I don't mean just a tiny bit of pace. I mean, here it seems to be seconds. It would have had Magello being the hardest out of everything. As Stone gets into that 42 pace, everyone in 44s. It's all a bit too much on the curb. With 3 laps to go, consider flags to the right hand side. Not as vigorous, shall we say, and populous as they were in 18, but you still see them. Gap of 2.9 seconds. Once again, a bit late, picking up the bike and again feeling it on the front when braking. Very close to sliding down again was Stone. As you really do trail brake into that right-hander. As I love it when grandstands just pop out of nowhere. 3 seconds ahead. I know he's chasing the bike there through the left. Don't want to get into the marbles. It's nicely on the power as Scott's battling hard. With 20 seconds. Or not. Back down to 23rd for Scott. There you go. Much smooth on the downshifts. Much smoother for the bike and that front end. All over the curbing. Backing it down into the 43s, but on this penultimate lap, easy for Stone. As he's using all the curbing again. So we've got 2 races left after this. Misano, Aragon. And this time we've got a 4-way fight at the top again. Now the interesting thing is if Salvador finishes in 3rd or 4th. Because if it's 4th, that really does close it up at the top. Like the Japanese rider would be leading again. Tatai just be hovering still. He's been the hoverer this season. He hasn't even won a race, I don't think, the Spaniard, but damn consistent. Like everyone in the top 3, top 4. Well, despite his up and downs for Stone, the lowest he's finishing the race is 4th. He's done that 3 times. I sent the Japanese riders finish on the podium in every race. Same for Salvador's thing as well. I know Salvador had 1 poor race, I think. I have to go back through the results as he head on to the final lap. Well, it's been a Sunday ride. This is more like it. This is what he needs. He needs to win all of these races, really. He's going to win the title. Perfect start to it. Just practice, qualifying, which will probably have to be modified, I think. Let's see, change difficulty. I'm not sure if difficulty actually changes stuff, though. Might have to crank it up, maybe. The last couple of rounds. It's proving too easy for Stone. And the guy who's been beating him so far this season has himself. In a Reds, in Saxon Ring. Not quite having the pace in Mugello, but had a poor start. But here in Assen, again, not the best start. The Red Bull Ring. There were more mistakes, but after the pain, it's going to come sweet success. It's going to be coming that first place trophy for the 2nd time this season. Stone wins in Austria. So there's Stone at the top, fast as that, almost a couple seconds quicker than anyone else. Salvador in 3rd. He does stay on the podium ahead of Tata. And we've got the Spaniard in 5th ahead of the Japanese rider and Baltis. Fed on Jason. One of the Spaniards in the top 10 of Max Kirk, then Zonta. And you've got Batelli, Rouge, and Agi in 15th ahead of Liebenberg. How many times did he finish 16th? Seriously, for the South African. It's a curse. Tyler Scott in 22nd. Acosta in last. Well done, Hertus, not finishing last. So in the Riders' Championship, Salvador still leads by just a single point, while Stone is up to 3rd with his comeback victory. 9 points back and 3 ahead of Tata, who drops to 4th. And so we've got the Japanese rider, Noguchi, ahead of Jason now, up into 6th. And it's like the Spaniards just holding on in 5th. As looking further down, so we've got Rouge running out the top 10. Max Cook down to 14th. And yeah, still 15 riders who scored points. That is absolutely crazy. So, perfection again for Stone. Absolute ridiculous perfection as well, as we saw in qualifying. As next up, it is Mazzano. I'm not going to pronounce the whole of the name of the Grand Prix, but we know it's round Mazzano World Circuit Marco Simoncelli. Well, in the meantime, there's been MotoGP, Moto2 and Moto3 that has been happening, while Dovi wins at Silverstone. Uncertain whether all weekend long, of course it's in Britain, but Ducati team always right on top of it, as he duelled with Marquez ahead of the excellent Rins as well in 3rd. Well, Luti very happy at winning in Moto2. What is with the Dynavolt riders? Looking so unhappy at winning. In Moto3, they had young Fanati winning as he tries to continue his redemption after being horrendous in Moto2. We also had Marcus and Baldassare in the podium in Moto2. So let's look at the championships then. So we know what's happening in the Red Bull Rookies Cup. It is tightening up very nicely. Well, in Moto3, Fanati leads away by 10 points ahead of Canet. They're going right down to the right, maybe. You've got Massia in 3rd. Delaporte up to 4th ahead of Dal Binder. And then you got Foggia in 6th, Arenas, Tuba, Ramirez, Antonelli rounding out the top 10 of Rodrigo. That's disappointing. Garcia down to 12th. Maybe feeling his age a bit as the season goes on. And you've got Can Onshu in 20th, the youngest rider, I believe, to win in Moto3. His wild card last season. As they can further down, McPhee still in last. What is going on? So in Moto 2, Alex Marquez leading the way as we work away from the bottom to the top. So 20 riders score points, but Zeki last of them. DJ Antonio still with just 8 points on his speed up. Brad Binder still outside the top 10 along with the other speed up of Navarro. A massive gap to Marini in 10th. As you got Ika up into the top 5 ahead of Remy Gardner. Sam Lowe's in 7th, but Nuku's right at the top. It is Marquez leading by 10 points ahead of Shirota. That sounds familiar, doesn't it? Then you got Baldassarre further 10 points back, and Luti's still right in the hunt with his teammate in 4th. Then in MotoGP, it's as Mark Marquez, shall we say, leading the way, just like Alex, by 13 points ahead of Renzo. They actually changed it up. Then Dovi 31 points back. Rossi, he's dropping back on his Yamaha in 4th, but it's still 4 different manufacturers in the top 4. Then you've got Petrucci around at top 5 ahead of Crutchlow. Vinales battling Jack Miller as well. Great battle for 5th going on there. Then you've got Nakagami, Espargo, Morbidelli having their own private battle. Quartararo way behind his teammate. Would have expected that to be a bit closer. Bagnaia ahead of Mir. Espargo, Jorge Lorenzo. Remember when he's a multiple MotoGP champion? One of the aliens? Not anymore. You got Lorenzo, Sarko. And he's always rising 3 places. What is happening to him? He's dropping back and forth between 22nd and 19th. There's Abraham in last. So in the constructors, you've got Honda 13 points ahead of Suzuki, Ducati, Yamaha, Aprilia. Won't talk about KTM. And then it's Ducati leading by 19 points as they're smirking their way to victory. Look at that cheeky grin on Petrucci's face. I'm sorry he's going to be swearing that for the rest of this season as well in real life. I was winning Magello. Then you got Suzuki in 3rd, Honda, Pramac, LCR. You got Grassini in 10th, KTM in 11th, 10th and 11th, shall we say, with Tech 3. Vinter yet to score. Then in the teams for Moto 2, it's Dynavolt leading the way comfortably, 109 points ahead of Mark Vidiers. Actually, Shirota kind of smiles there. He's on the way to it, you can see. Then Poland's in 3rd. You got KTM in 4th. You got Grassini. VR46 down in 7th. KTM IO, the main KTM team, down in 8th. Speed up in 10th. We have NTS. Then Tech 3 KTM in 13th. Last of the point scorers. Such a sorry sight seeing K4 racing in last. And finally, the team's championship in Moto 3 has Leopard racing at the top by 30 points ahead of Spikers. It's like Green Power dropping down the order now, down to 3rd. Going out on the way up. VR46 in 7th once again. What's her favourite position? Estrella Galitza down 9th. Having a good season. Same for KTM Hyo in 13th. As Avinter in last. Nothing really changes then. But next time, we'll be heading to Mazzano. Can Kev Stone grab another victory? He's been very consistent and inconsistent at the same time. Can he make it 2 wins in a row for the first time? Sound watching. We'll find out next time.